What's up, Steelers Nation? The Pittsburgh Steelers are heading into a crucial offseason, and every move they make could define their success in 2025. The front office is evaluating every option, from the quarterback situation to potential big-name trades, and fans are eager to see how the roster shapes up. Before we dive into today's breaking news, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. This offseason is going to be a wild ride, and you'll want to stay locked in as we break it all down. Now let's get into it. One of the biggest questions for the Steelers this offseason is who will be under center in 2025. With both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields on the roster in 2024, Pittsburgh had the rare luxury of having two starting-caliber quarterbacks on team-friendly deals. But now, that situation is changing. It's becoming increasingly clear that only one of them will return in 2025. The early favorite? Justin Fields. The former first-round pick showed flashes of potential last season, leading the Steelers to a 4-2 record while Wilson was sidelined with an injury. His ability to extend plays with his legs and open up the offense makes him an intriguing option as a long-term starter. But while the Steelers focus on deciding their QB1, another name has entered the conversation: Jameis Winston. During an appearance on Pardon My Take, Winston made it clear that if given the chance, he would love to play for the Steelers next season. "Man, I love Pittsburgh. I admire Coach Mike Tomlin so much," Winston said. "The first Super Bowl ring I ever held was a 2009 Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl ring from Bruce Arians. That's always been aligned with my vision. I don't know what my Browns fans would say about it, but if that opportunity presents itself, I would love to team up with Coach Tomlin." For Steelers fans, this might come as a surprise, but it makes sense when you break it down. Winston has long been respected for his leadership, charisma, and love for the game. Even though he's had a roller coaster career, there's no denying that he's one of the most entertaining and passionate quarterbacks in the league. But let's talk about the big question. Should the Steelers actually consider bringing in Winston? Jameis Winston was once a #1 overall pick and seen as the future of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's got a cannon for an arm, confidence for days, and the ability to light up defenses when he's at his best. But here's the problem. His inconsistency and turnover issues have plagued his career. Winston is the only quarterback in NFL history to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in the same season, 2019. That's a stat that perfectly sums up the highs and lows of his game. He can take over a game with deep shots and big plays, but he also takes too many risks. In 2024, Winston played for the Cleveland Browns as a backup, but he got a chance to start against the Steelers in a snowy AFC North battle. He didn't dominate through the air, but he made enough plays, including a key rushing touchdown, to lead Cleveland to a 24-19 victory over Pittsburgh. Now Winston is looking for a new opportunity. He clearly respects Mike Tomlin, and playing for the Steelers would be a dream for him. But should Pittsburgh make that move? If Winston is willing to sign for the veteran minimum, he could be a great backup option behind Fields. His experience, leadership, and team-first mentality would make him a solid locker room presence. However, the Steelers also have other pressing needs, and carrying a veteran backup like Winston might not be a priority. So, what do you think, Steelers fans? Would you welcome Winston to Pittsburgh? Drop your thoughts in the comments. All right, if that wasn't enough big news for you, let's talk about the latest trade rumors. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reported that the Los Angeles Rams are looking to move on from All-Pro wide receiver Cooper Kupp, and guess who's one of the favorites to land him? The Pittsburgh Steelers. This would be a game-changing move for the Steelers' offense. Kupp was the 2021 NFL Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl LVI MVP, and at his peak, he was one of the most dominant receivers in the league. The Rams are willing to eat some of his salary to make a trade easier for an acquiring team. That's a crucial detail because Kupp's contract isn't cheap. He's owed $20 million in 2025 and $19.85 million in 2026, with only $5 million guaranteed. According to betting odds, Pittsburgh currently has a 15.4% chance of landing Kupp, making them one of the top contenders. But should they go for it? At 31 years old, Kupp isn't the same player he was in 2021. Over the past 3 seasons, he has battled multiple injuries, including ankle and hamstring issues, limiting him to just 12 games in both 2023 and 2024. However, when he's healthy, he's still an elite playmaker. Since entering the league in 2017, Kupp has recorded 634 receptions, 7,776 receiving yards, 57 touchdowns. If the Steelers were to trade for him, they'd instantly upgrade their passing attack. Pairing Kupp with George Pickens would give Pittsburgh one of the most dangerous receiving duos in the league. But here's the dilemma. Do the Steelers want to take on Kupp's contract? Is he still worth a top draft pick or trade assets? Can he stay healthy for a full season? There's no doubt that a healthy Cooper Kupp makes the Steelers' offense better. But is it worth the risk? It's no secret that Russell Wilson had an up-and-down season in Pittsburgh. He showed flashes of brilliance, like his 414-yard, 3-touchdown performance in a dominant Week 13 win over the Cincinnati Bengals. But as the season went on, the offense completely collapsed, ending the year on a 5-game losing streak, something that hasn't happened since Chuck Noll's first season in 1969. Now, new details are emerging about why the Steelers' offense struggled down the stretch, and all signs point to a major disconnect between Wilson and Arthur Smith. According to Jerry Dulac of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Arthur Smith did not want Wilson changing plays at the line of scrimmage, even in games where the veteran quarterback was thriving. That's right. Smith wanted Wilson to stick to the game plan and not audible out of plays, even when he saw something in the defense that he could exploit. That's a major issue. Wilson is a Super Bowl-winning, borderline Hall of Fame quarterback who built his career on making plays, improvising, and adjusting on the fly. Asking him to simply run the play as called without making adjustments? That's like telling Ben Roethlisberger in his prime that he can't extend plays or scramble. This philosophical divide could very well spell the end of Wilson's time in Pittsburgh. The Steelers' president, Art Rooney II, made it clear in a recent press conference that the team wants to sign one of their 2 quarterbacks, Wilson or Justin Fields, to a long-term deal. "I think they're both capable quarterbacks, and my preference would be to sign one of them," Rooney said. "That will be the priority, and I think that will give us the best opportunity to move forward." Translation: one of them is staying, the other is gone, so who has the upper hand? Right now, all signs point to Justin Fields. Fields played well when given the chance in 2024. In his 6 starts, he threw for 1,106 yards, 5 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. He also added 231 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, showing that he fits perfectly in Arthur Smith's run-heavy offense. When Fields was healthy, the Steelers went 4-2. But when Wilson returned and took over, the team collapsed, failing to score more than 17 points in any game during the 5-game losing streak. That's a bad look for Wilson. Bart Scott: "Wilson can't play in Pittsburgh under these conditions," former Ravens linebacker Bart Scott weighed in on the situation during a recent appearance on Get Up, and he didn't hold back. "You're telling a potentially borderline Hall of Fame quarterback that he doesn't have any options at the line of scrimmage. That works for Justin Fields, but Russell Wilson is too accomplished for that," Scott said. "This is a guy who won a Super Bowl. You're telling him to just do what he's told and not be able to use any of his football IQ? I don't think Russell Wilson can come back to Pittsburgh after this. How can you operate under those conditions?" Scott's argument makes sense. Wilson's biggest strength has always been his ability to read defenses and make adjustments. If Arthur Smith isn't allowing him to do that, then it's probably best for both sides to move on. Is Justin Fields the future of the Steelers? While Wilson's future is in doubt, Fields' stock is rising. The biggest thing working in Fields' favor? Money. Wilson's contract situation is complicated. The Steelers got him at a massive discount in 2024, but if they want to keep him in 2025, they'll need to offer a new deal, one that will likely be much more expensive. Fields, on the other hand, is still on his rookie contract, making him the cheaper and more flexible option. That alone makes him more appealing to Pittsburgh's front office. But beyond the financials, Fields' skill set just makes more sense for the offense Pittsburgh is trying to build. Arthur Smith's play-action-heavy, run-first system works best when the quarterback is mobile and can make plays with his legs. Does that sound like Wilson? Not really. But Fields, that's his bread and butter. The Steelers are facing some huge decisions this offseason, and the next few months will determine the direction of this franchise. Should Pittsburgh sign Jameis Winston as a backup? Should they go all in and trade for Kupp? Or should they focus on other areas, like building the offensive line or adding more defensive firepower? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any Steelers updates. We've got a lot to cover this offseason, and we'll be breaking it all down right here. Stay tuned, Steelers Nation. Let's see how this all plays out.